What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Wrenching Wrecked. We're taking a break from bike stuff and doing some car stuff today, so I am editing I was editing this video, and realized I didn't have power on the mic battery. So, unfortunately, everything I did on the intake manifold swap that you're going to watch now is going to have to be time-lapsed and threw some music and stuff in there for you. And then it picks back up the second half, so I gave it a little bit of a break and recharged the battery on the GoPro. When I got back to it, the mic was working again, so I don't know what happened. I apologize about it, but enjoy. Let's dig into this Falcon and get that single plane manifold hooked back up, and then we'll see what happens on the Holley, if we can get that far. Alright, well, gave the GoPro a quick little break, fresh battery in there. While that was happening, I just pulled the studs out of the other one, so the studs are back on. We still have a couple more fittings. I gotta pull the 90-degree coolant fitting from the top, and then we can start hooking up some of the rest of this stuff on here. And realistically, it's just a matter of figuring out which carb we want to run. I'd like to put the new one on. Let's grab the gasket too. Oh. Come on. Oh, she's way stuck. You know what? Let me see if I actually have another gasket. Base gasket for this. Usually these little soft spacers don't really need them, but just wipe this down real quick. Make sure you pull your rag out of the distributor area. Then, I don't know if I mentioned it, when I was taking all of this apart, before we got started on this, I got a bunch of marks here on the radiator hose. Figured I'd be kind of smart and roughly time that before I yanked everything apart, so now, when we go to put it all back together, should, in theory, drop in the exact same way. If I gotta retime it, whatever, that's okay too, but I haven't turned the distributor gears, nor have I turned the crank. So this white line was where my vac advance was. So as long as I can get this kind of close here, just gonna set it there. Then I'll give it an old starter bump trick. Hopefully that drops the distributor in. Which it looked like it did from in there. How'd we do out here? Yep. So I had this lined up with that, Hopefully that'll all stay the same. If it shifted a little bit, we'll retime it the hard way, but I'm hoping that stayed right in place. And then I gotta rerun all the wires, but should be at least a close ballpark in terms of timing. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and snug this one down a little bit. First, even if the rotor has moved, it shouldn't change timing because it's static where the cap is. Just like that. And we'll figure out what to do next. Alright, spark plugs are all back on, coils re-hooked up. Now we are down to vacuum advance. Maybe we'll use it, maybe we won't. Let's throw the Holley on, see how this looks. I don't remember what all I need for this either. Don't have a choke at all, but that's alright. Okay. Shit, I might need to run a longer fuel line. Forgot they're on the other side. Alright, I think I should have some fuel line up here. I'll find something to make that one work. And then, linkage-wise, we should be alright. Okay, let's take a look. I'll start messing around with some of these and see what it actually looks like to get all of these hooked back up on this Holley carb. Carbs hooked back up. Still got to figure out the fuel line situation. Looks like that fuel line's gonna have to move just a hair or two. There. That should be good. And then all I really got left, I gotta connect. This is the old fuel line. I just need a longer run of hose. I can remake another hard line at a later point in time if I need to. But for right now, let's hook fuel up to this. Lower radiator hose, oil change. Yeah, let me go find some fuel line. I ran home, grabbed some fuel line off the shelf, so gotta separate this rear one back here. I didn't have any 3/8 line up here. It's mostly smaller 1/4 inch moped scooter stuff up here. So all we should need is a longer section of fuel line, and then we should be about good. I'll grab this first, get the back done, and then we'll cut to fit. If anybody's big into doing real nice stuff and making the engine bays look all pretty. Probably the wrong channel for you. This is a down and dirty, get it running, keep it running. Mechanically it'll be sound, but aesthetically I don't care enough. I think every time back in the day when I was working on either the truck or fixing things on here, I'm always like, yeah, I'll get around to rewiring. Good chances are, well, the actual chance of me going back and finding time to do that when something's running and driving, not so much. So this is going to be a longer section of rubber hose than I would usually like, but for right now, it will work just fine. So I'll wrap this up, in and over, so I need to cut that right there. I don't have my hose cutters here, those are over at the other shop, I think. All right, crude method. Where is my razor blade?
Oh, I'll just put them on the chain, right?
Yeah, that'd be fine too. Okay. Still the hose clamp.
Is it just the two?
There should be 4. Okay, I'll tuck that down. I'll redo the hard lines because they're gonna have to change.
Not super light.
What's that?
So they're not super light.
No. No, they are not. I need another hose clamp. This one's too small. Neat. Come on. Whew. Let me find a hose clamp. So, 2 hose clamps I got for 3/8 line are too small. So I went up one size. This is a little overkill, but should be it. I definitely need to do a fuel or oil change on this, but I think I'm going to try and see if it's going to light off first, since I haven't tested this carb yet. And I'm definitely going to have to rework the throttle stuff a little bit because this cable is too long for this setup to get me full throttle. I think I can get it to kind of go for half throttle. So, let's see what happens. We'll start here and then see if I can get this to light off. Hopefully the distributor is close enough. Let's start cranking, get some fuel up there, and then see what happens. Won't run it long because that oil is gross. There's no fuel up in that carb yet, so. All right. What's that? I know, I don't have any gas up there yet. And now I do, but it's leaking somewhere. I don't see where. Alright, so it's definitely leaking fuel from somewhere. Oh, floats. Did I not tighten these? I must not have adjusted those. Alright, float adjustment. Come on, let go. Okay. Now what do we need? A 5/8 wrench, I believe. Let's pop these out completely, figure out roughly where I have them set. Oh, I did put new needles in. So we're pretty much good there. Just gonna seat these all the way first. Then we'll adjust as needed. Hey, it runs. Okay. I will definitely have to come back and readjust these floats once I get this lid off and fired up. I honestly just want to roll it back a little bit so I'm not laying in coolant when I do the oil change. And then we can tweak around at the carb. But it just fired off on its own, kind of. And we can kind of play with the idle. Where's that leaking from? It's spraying all over the place. Fuel line's good. Where is she leaking from? I'm gonna have to go back and watch the camera. Hold on. All right, I topped it off with coolant. I stopped filming anybody up here, but everything's topped off, ready to go. Back running again. I did have to tweak the timing just a little bit. Seems to be running pretty well, and then I had to readjust the mixture screws. So we're gonna take this on its quick little test ride up to shop 2. There's like a ton of cleanup over there, and go from there. See how the single plane does. We went back to the Edelbrock carb because I didn't want to mess around with having to tune the carb today. So now everything's working. We'll meet you over at shop 2.